Hey funnel builders, Mike Killen here from sellyourservice.co.uk. Today I want to talk to you about the difference between paid traffic and organic traffic for your marketing funnels, and potentially why you should be focusing on organic traffic. So by the end of this video, hopefully you'll see that paid traffic has absolutely got its place. I'm not having a go at it at all. I think it's a vital part of a marketing mix, particularly for funnels. But when we're working on customer funnels, it's easy to start thinking, well, I'll just scale it out to paid traffic. And I want to talk about some of the problems that my other kind of customers and coaches and stuff have had when they've just focused on that particular channel. Both have pros and cons. You know, organic traffic has got as many problems with it as paid traffic has, but it's also got some massive advantages, just like paid traffic has got some advantages, and I want to talk about them. I think a lot of people feel that paid traffic is kind of their only option at the moment, when kind of organic traffic seems to be not necessarily dying out, but perhaps being seen as maybe a bit more difficult to attain, a bit more difficult to get. And we'll talk about my concept of content being kind of like regular investing and the compound effect of that. Here's the deal, right? No matter what type of traffic, whether it's paid or organic, platform reliant traffic will always change. Okay, it's always going to be changing. Google is often updating its algorithm, so even though we have organic traffic, you know, they're often updating their algorithm, and people notice drops and spikes in their organic traffic from Google. Also, you know, I can't remember what they call it, referral-based traffic. So referral traffic, or direct traffic, I should say, direct traffic, people literally typing in your URL. But bizarrely enough, I think that goes through changes as well. Recent changes in kind of SSL certifications and things means that standard HTTP websites, you know, actually saw a drop in the number of traffic from direct, because people would go there and it would say HTTPS, and they would say, oh, this site is hacked, it's unsafe, and people go, oh, well, I don't want to visit it then. We did see a drop, you know, in some of our customers in broad spectrums across people dropping off. So platform reliant traffic is always going to change. Facebook's another great example. Facebook's adpocalypse recently, as well as YouTube's adpocalypse, seemed to have far more problems than it did when it was originally kind of conceived. You know, prices are going up bit by bit, and there's a lot of people wondering, you know, is this the end of Facebook advertising? The short answer is no, it's not. Facebook knows that they need to generate revenue, and that's actually where they're going to focus the majority of their time and effort. But any traffic that you drive from a platform that's owned by somebody else is going to go through changes. Just accept that as part of the business. There's no such thing as a crisis or an opportunity. There's just changes in the marketplace, and that's something that I think most people who deal with any kind of traffic need to understand, particularly with funnels. The problem is that it's an interesting problem to have, but the problem is that it's easier than ever to drive more traffic. You could give me 10 grand tomorrow and I'd be able to get your website a ton of hits. The big problem comes because it's so easy. People are a bit fretful and neglectful with their traffic. I would rather, and I've talked about this before, on why traffic shouldn't be the first thing you should focus on, because just because you drive more traffic to a website doesn't necessarily result in more leads or sales. So I'd rather optimize that sales conversion process, that lead conversion process, and try and convert the 10 visitors I have a day before I want to start driving 1,000. Because it's so easy to drive paid traffic, a lot of people believe that organic traffic is either dying out or dead or harder to get, and it's just not the case. In fact, I want to make the argument that longer term, organic traffic will probably win out over any kind of paid traffic, because paid traffic platforms change all the time, and they do change. Just because Facebook's been going for, you know, with their advertising platform for 5 or 6 years, and it's pretty much stayed consistent. There has been a few changes. That doesn't mean that tomorrow it couldn't just disappear or go away. In fact, we already saw with things such as the big change to kind of social page platforms and social organic traffic. Everyone was moaning about their websites not having as much traffic from their pages anymore. Frankly, it was already pretty low. You shouldn't be worrying about that if you are already driving traffic because of useful content. This kind of highlights one of the main reasons why paid traffic is such a problem. I can drive people straight to a sales page or a landing page or a squeeze page, but if my website doesn't offer anything else useful at all, no other useful content, then of course no one else is going to want to visit there of their own free will. So I'm almost left with the only option of being paid traffic if I'm not willing to invest in content marketing and traffic. Costs are going to go up, advertising costs are going to go up. even YouTube, what was this, 2015, when we started looking at YouTube advertising and exploring that, and we said, oh, it's dirt cheap, you can be focusing on absolutely nothing else, you just should be doing YouTube. Why? Well, video's really difficult to produce, no one else is going to want to go on it, traditional advertisers. Boom, within 6 months, YouTube's costs had gone up. They didn't exactly skyrocket, but they went up, and because of that, more and more people bizarrely started jumping on it, and now everyone's on this. Everyone, Procter and Gamble, Coca-Cola, Microsoft, LinkedIn advertisers on YouTube. So video advertising is just another platform, which kind of leads me on to my second point here, is that new platforms open up all the time. Okay, don't believe any of the doomsayers who ever say, oh, paid advertising is dead, paid traffic's dead, Facebook advertising is dead, YouTube advertising is dead, LinkedIn is dead. That doesn't matter. There's always new platforms opening up. All the time, there are new platforms opening up. It's the way that the internet works, frankly, is if someone has a great idea and it drives a load of people, I guarantee you at some point there will be advertising involved, either driving them there or driving that traffic that's attracted there to somebody else. So there's a huge amount of opportunity. There's always going to be new platforms opening up. However, organic traffic still basically relies on the fact that, are you offering something useful, and could someone discover it by themselves? Would someone want to share this by themselves? I think there's a huge misconception that there aren't any other options other than paid traffic, because SEO is seen as so complicated and SEO is seen as so difficult. In truth, we still generate probably close to 40 to 50% of our traffic from organic SEO, and that's because I've committed to creating videos, creating blog content, writing a load of content, sharing it, making sure that people know it, and niching down on a particular market. To me, it's a bit like compound investing. When I first did it, my first blog post attracted absolutely no visitors. Second post, no visitors. 10th post, a couple of visitors. By the time we reached our 15th and 20th post, we could see a rise, but the 15th post actually drove traffic to the first and second post. So those posts that originally didn't attract anyone, they grow over time. And because they are around the longest, they actually have the highest levels of total views per year than the others. And over time, we drive more traffic from one blog post, now just publishing one post a week, than I was in entire months or even an entire year previously without any traffic. So it's like now I actually get more results for the exact same amount of effort because of the compound effect, and that's all from organic traffic. Organic SEO isn't dead. My colleague and friend Dan Shure from Evolving SEO and from the websites Entrepreneurs on the Wire will tell you SEO is not dead. If anything, it's become more integral into our society, and we use SEO in a very different way. But anyone who tells you that SEO is dead is talking out their arse, and I guarantee they have never, ever, ever tried a true SEO campaign to drive views from traffic. Here's the thing. A lot of people kind of talk about these big numbers, 10,000 visitors. I've got a list of 40,000 people or whatever the fuck it is. But when it boils down to, okay, well, what's your follow-up process? Tell me what your process is for following up with leads. They'll go, we don't really focus on that. I haven't really thought about it. I'm like, right, so you're telling me you can't convert one people, but you want to attract 10,000? That to me seems kind of flipped. And I would rather work on converting one person and being really, really good at that, developing a deep relationship with them, making sure that they're as profitable as possible as a customer, making sure they're as happy as possible as a customer, before focusing on vanity-based metrics. The solution to all of this, whether you want to look at organic or paid traffic, is if you want to have a platform that can't just be yanked out from under your feet, and I've talked about this on a previous video when talking about platforms like ClickFunnels and Unbounce and stuff like this, they can change the rules anytime they want. YouTube anytime could say, we no longer do advertising. They're not likely to do that, but they have changed the rules on advertising, and that can sometimes affect advertising channels. I think YouTube now, unless you have 1,000 subscribers, you can't put advertising on your show. Unless you've got 20,000 views in total on your channel, you can't put adverts on. So there has been a big cut in advertising revenue. Even the guys who are generating millions have noticed a big cut in their advertising, because YouTube can change the rules. They want to keep users engaged. Their main focus is driving more people and making it easier to create content. Advertising is huge. It's massively important, but they can change the rules on that, and they could increase the costs, and if their costs go up, your costs go up. You need to create regular and repeated content, and it staggers me now still how many people see this like, oh, I just haven't got the time. I'm like, but you're not inundated with work. You've just told me now that you don't have any customers, and so why aren't you writing and sharing, creating and useful stuff? Video is so easy now, and people go, well, I don't want to appear on video. Cool. Well, does I don't want to appear on video. Is that going to help you pay the bills this month? No. So start creating regular and repeated content. Do it every day. And this is, I'm going to tell you now, you should be creating something every single day. I've been saying this from day one. You should be creating content every single day. When people go, well, I'm going to post once every couple of weeks and see how it goes. Cool. Well, try going to the gym once every couple of weeks and see how that works out. Try only having a decent diet once every couple of weeks and see how much weight you lose. You have to commit to something every single day, and it has to be regular and repeated content. Once you've got into the habit, this leads me on to point 2, you have to create high quality content. Your content has to be genuinely useful. People are going to want to search for it anyway. You have to be confident that it's going to be helping people. Now, it's much easier to create high quality, useful content when you've got a very specific niche and you solve a very specific problem. But if you haven't got that, that's not a problem. Learn to write or create content or record a video, or record a podcast or audio guides or whatever it is every single day. And eventually that niche and that opportunity and that solution will reveal itself to you. Also, focus on a channel. So point number 3 would be focus on a channel. We knew that I wanted to start driving organic traffic from Google, so I smashed a couple of keywords. I just wrote nothing about selling marketing funnels. Now, if you Google seller marketing funnel or selling marketing funnels, it's me. I'm all over the place. I even outrank people who have got far more traffic and way more stuff who are talking about sales funnels. It's me, right? I'm the one who's talking about that because I'm that particular niche I decided to go after, and now we have that. As long as I keep producing regular content for that channel over time, as that niche grows and more people search, bearing in mind it's estimated in the next 20 years 2 billion people expected to discover the internet. Although we have a huge saturation of people who find the internet, there's still a lot of people discovering it for the first time, and they could discover you if you create high quality, regular, repeated content. Expanding into other traffic channels when it's profitable is super useful, and it's a big part of the marketing mix. We've talked about that before on another video, how if you've started generating and converting sales from organic traffic and the low levels of traffic you get, then start investing in other traffic channels, experimenting with other traffic channels and testing those traffic channels, but they have to stay profitable. And only when it's profitable is it worth investing in those other traffic channels. If you say, okay, well, it takes me 2 hours to write a blog post or an hour a day to write a blog post, and that's $50, so I essentially am spending $50 a day on driving traffic. How much traffic has that driven, that particular post? How much is driven? How many leads? How many sales? Is that profitable? Cool. Then maybe start looking into other traffic channels. My final piece of advice would be help people. Focus on helping people and generating useful, valuable content for your audience and for your customers and for your niche, rather than focusing on vanity metrics like visitors. We know businesses who have got only a few hundred visitors a week, but they make a lot of money because they convert those few visitors, as opposed to, we also have customers and colleagues and stuff who are like, yeah, we've got 10,000 views a week, but we don't make any money. Like, well, you're focusing on the wrong thing there. You should be focusing on helping people. Your content should be so valuable that people would happily pay for it. And if anything, they think it's so valuable that they want to talk to you and call you up afterwards and say, hey man, I read this blog post. This is awesome. Can you help me? That's how valuable it should be. It should be so valuable that you should be happy to send it to customers. Okay, you should be happy to send it to customers no matter what you are. If you're a funnel builder, your content should be so valuable that you can send it to your funnel customers and they'll read it. If you're a gym, your content should be so useful that you can send it to your gym members and they'll read it. That's how valuable it needs to be. And if you're not willing to commit to that, then frankly, there's no amount of traffic in the world that can help you if you're not willing to focus on helping people. Cool. Thanks very much, guys. If you've had any problems with organic or paid traffic in the past, let me know in the comments below. If there's anything that I could talk about next time, let me know. We've got a few suggestions and things coming in, things that I'm going to start talking about. Organic traffic is a big deal. In fact, what I'm going to start doing now is on the side here, I have another video to our why you shouldn't focus on traffic yet. Is kind of your order of priorities, and instead you should focus on something else. And just down here where I'm kind of pointing, that's where I'm also going to have our little subscribe button. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, that helps us out. In the meantime, guys, thanks very much. I am Mike from Sell Your Service. Keep building those funnels.